The ROG Flow X13 can do this, it can do this, and it can do this. Just because the ROG Flow X13 has ROG in its name doesn't mean it's a laptop made only for the gamers. Instead, if you want to buy a thin and light 2-in-1 convertible and all-around portable laptop, then the ROG Flow X13 makes a really good case for the most part. Keep watching to know more. Hello everyone, Aman here from Mr. Phone, and before we begin, support us by hitting the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. The Flow X13 is unlike any ROG machine that I have ever seen. First of all, I love the small footprint. I mean, this laptop weighs just about 1.3 kilograms. In terms of specs, my particular variant features a 3.1 GHz AMD Ryzen 9 5900HS processor, which has 8 cores, 16 threads, and can do up to 4.5 GHz turbo boost. Kind of an overkill for this slim machine, but gets the job done flawlessly. This is coupled with the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 with 4GB DDR6 video memory, 35W TGP, and a 5W boost. Not the most powerful, but fits the norm considering this is a 13-inch laptop. Apart from this, there's 16GB dual-channel LPDDR4X RAM, and there's also 1TB of SSD storage. The display here is gorgeous. This is a 13.4-inch 4K IPS panel with a 60Hz refresh rate. It is touch-enabled, comes with stylus support. The stylus is bundled in the box, and it is protected by Gorilla Glass, hence the glossy finish. Now there's also a variant of the Flow X13 which comes with a 120Hz refresh rate, but mind you, on that one you get full HD resolution, and the processor is the Ryzen 7 5800HS. So as I said, this is a gorgeous panel, guys. I absolutely enjoyed watching videos on it, typing on it, playing games on it. I mean, colors simply look brilliant thanks to Pantone certification. The 4K resolution also makes sure that everything that you see is pixel perfect, bezels are tiny, and while it is rated to provide about 300 nits of brightness, it was more than enough needed for indoor use case scenarios. Although the audio performance of the bottom firing speakers was just okayish, nothing special.
There's also a 720p HD webcam situated in the top bezel, and this is what you can expect in terms of quality. Now, not the sharpest by what I can make out, and by this point I feel a 1080p webcam should be standard on laptops at this price point. Also, the audio is being recorded on the laptop itself, so guys, let me know what you think about the overall output in the comments.
In terms of design and build, the Flow X13 has a stealthy look which I kinda dig. The laptop itself is made out of magnesium alloy, but Asus has given the soft textured finish up top which is pleasant to the touch. And because this is a convertible laptop, it has this 360-degree hinge which Asus calls the 360-degree ergo lift hinge. This lets you prop the Flow X13 as a conventional laptop or in tent mode for watching and gaming purposes, or you can use it as a tablet as well. And you can open the lid with one hand. Very convenient. Moving on, as for the ports, on the right are the USB-C port, a USB-A port, a power button that doubles up as the fingerprint reader, and an exhaust vent. On the left is a full-size HDMI port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a proprietary connector for the XG external mobile GPU. But if you look closely, there are two parts to this connector, and you can actually use this USB-C port for charging or data transfers. At the rear, you see more exhaust vents, and at the bottom, there are two fans to keep the thermals in check. We are going to talk about the thermals in a bit. Unfortunately, I did not receive the XG external GPU for testing, but as far as I've heard from people, that GPU is the key that takes gaming on this machine onto the next level. Coming to the keyboard and trackpad, well, this is an edge-to-edge backlit chiclet keyboard. The keys are decently spaced. The amount of travel on offer is very good considering this is a slim laptop, and if your work involves a lot of typing, you're going to appreciate the Flow X13's keyboard. However, the trackpad is a little small for my liking. Yes, I primarily use a MacBook Air, so I am a little spoiled that way. But otherwise, in terms of operation, it works fine. No complaints at all. Now let's talk about the performance, and I'm going to show you what you can expect if you decide to use the Flow X13 as your primary work and play laptop. Let's start with checking out some games and see how they fared in the real world. Starting off with Valorant, I did not observe any sort of lag or frame drops whatsoever, and I know Valorant is not the most demanding of titles, but still, if you look at the GPU usage up top on the screen, the game was actually utilizing the GTX 1650 to its full potential. But as I said, I did not face any performance issues at all. The gameplay was smooth and I was consistently getting about 60 to 70 FPS at the max settings and 4K resolution, which was great. Next up, I tried my hand at Tekken 7 and once again no performance issues at all. So while running the game at 1080p, I was getting a good 55 to 60 FPS smooth performance, and I even switched to ultra settings to see if the system can take the load, and the answer to it is yes. So yes, the game was playable at ultra settings, no issues whatsoever, but the frame rates did see a slight drop as I was getting about 45 to 55 FPS at ultra settings. I also played one of my favorite titles of all time, GTA 5, and this is where I thought the GTX 1650 would start to show the struggle, but even while running the game at the default 2K resolution, I was getting about 50 to 60 FPS performance, something I wasn't expecting at all. It was also good to see that the GPU temperature was also consistent all this while, ranging in the realm of 80 degrees, which is acceptable for such a machine. And by the way, I even ran GTA 5 at 1080p resolution, and with that, I was getting an unbelievable 75 to 85 FPS performance, sometimes even hitting 90 to 95 FPS, which is very good. Finally, it was control that put a serious load on the GTX 1650, and no, there were still no frame drops, slowdowns or performance issues while playing this title, but I was getting about 25 to 30 FPS at medium graphics settings and 1080p resolution. I also tried playing the game at low graphics, and in doing so the system was able to hit the 40 to 45 FPS mark. Now the good thing about gaming on this machine was, as I said, thermals were always under check. I mean, I hardly saw the GPU temperatures going beyond 80 degrees even after long sessions of gaming. So in real life scenarios, the dual fans and the liquid metal compound by Thermal Grizzly actually did their job. And apart from gaming, general performance was also very good. For me, this laptop turned out to be a capable work companion. In my daily routine, I was getting about 7 to 8 hours of endurance out of the 62 watt hour battery, which was enough to get me through a day. And bear in mind, I used this laptop in 4K resolution, so battery life is actually kind of good here. For those interested, my workflow mostly involves using a lot of Google Chrome. So I usually write my scripts, I do some light photo editing, I play YouTube videos, I use Microsoft Teams, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, while gaming, the battery does drain faster than usual, so I would say that when you play games, keep the laptop plugged into the charger, but that is obvious, right? And speaking of being plugged in, you do get a compact 100 watt USB-C charger with the Asus ROG Flow X13, which does juice up the laptop relatively faster than its competitors. So the variant that I have is currently going for about 1,40,000 rupees on Flipkart, and I know this is a lot of money, guys, but if you're looking for a solid convertible 2-in-1 Windows machine which has a 4K display, it is touch enabled, it has a good battery life with fast charging, and on top of everything is portable and lightweight, in that case the Asus ROG Flow X13 is one of the best options you can consider. Otherwise, if you don't mind for a traditional laptop design, in that case for about the same budget, the Zephyrus G15 is also a good purchase. That laptop also has a variant with the same Ryzen 9 CPU but with the better RTX 3060 GPU and a 165Hz 2K display, although it weighs about 1.9 kilograms. So that way you gotta decide. And besides the Zephyrus G15 also, there are a lot of other traditional laptops from Asus and from other companies that you can consider buying at this budget of about 1,40,000 rupees. But if you're looking for a thin and light convertible, in that case for now nothing beats the ROG Flow X13. And that's about it for the review, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this laptop. As always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.